Hey guys, welcome back as always. My name is Leyzar, and today on the menu, my friends, we got a brand new build guide for Gyre. And the reason it's brand new is because Digital Extremes finally decided to do something about this Warframe. It was launched a while back, and unfortunately it never really was very popular because it never really was very powerful. But we got a brand new Augment that links her 3 to her 4, and now we can do a whole much more damage, and we can also keep our 3 and our 4 up, essentially up all the time, as long as you are getting kills. This fantastic Augment I speak of is called Cathode, what's it called, guys? Cathode something.
Current.
Cathode Current, yeah, I knew that. I completely freaking forgot. And this build is made possible by that absolutely outstanding mod. Now, you do need specifics, unfortunately. If you want to stay alive in Steel Path, which you do need to, you're gonna have to keep on spamming my one ability. Take a look at my buff bar. Do you see what that is? Of course you do, because you're a very smart individual. That, my friends, is Hildrun's Pillage ability, and you can put it either on her 1 or her 2 ability. Both are not exactly fantastic. Now, I keep her 2 ability for the crowd controlling element. As you saw there, it worked fantastically well, and I recommend you keep it as well. How many forma, Papa Leyzar? Well, for forma, 2. Okay, you can get away with 2, ideally you might want to go to 4, and of course you can improve upon this recipe, but I chose the easy path. I chose the minimum amount of forma, and as you can see, the build functions quite nicely. Want to crowd control some stuff? Use your 2 ability, bundle them together like that, and keep on damaging. Now, we got Miseries here, believe, is that Misery? Yeah, that's Misery. The problem with the build, if you stop killing, then you're up a creek without a paddle, your buffs drops off, and that's kind of it. But in the meantime, let's see what we can do against Misery. He's over there, I believe. Make sure to never stop spamming your 1 ability, because if you do, you will die. And if you want to never get knocked back, use Prime Sure-Footed in your Excel slot. However, that will require you to forma 1 additional time. And here's Misery, shoot it in the face, and now Misery is no more. If we could only get rid of Misery that easily, my friends. Now, don't worry about the build, I'm gonna show it to you at the end. What's important now is what you should be taking away from this is the performance of the build. This is Steel Path right at the beginning, enemies level 120 something, and I'm using the Amprax because obviously I want to get as many electricity procs as I can, and the build for the Amprax should be focusing around electricity and vital, my friends, plus hunter munitions, because yes, you got it, hunter munitions. This is the kind of damage you can expect and the kind of staying power and survivability you can get out of Gyre. And believe it or not, the only survivability mod on her is rolling nah, not this time, baby. Quick thinking, because you are getting so much energy back from your free. Quick thinking should allow you to stay alive, well, as you can see, without any issue whatsoever. What exactly would happen in the high levels? Well, that remains to be seen. You can take this build even into levels in the thousands, but I wouldn't really recommend it. The point here, my friends, this Augment, this genius Augment, allows us finally to play Gyre at a level we could not before. It makes the Warframe a whole lot more powerful than she used to be, and I can only be all for that. Now, about that build. Starting off with the Aura Sprint Boost, what the hell? Well, essentially the default polarity on Gyre is a dash, not a mon. So you got Corrosive Projection, right? Which is entirely pointless if you're gonna be going with something like Pillage, so you can use whatever aura you want. It's not really all that relevant to the build. You can even take something like Steel Charge and play with a melee weapon instead of a ranged weapon, and that's gonna be fine as well. You might also get away with -1 forma. You can go for something like Growing Power, because Growing Power will mean more damage, so there you go. Transient Fortitude, since we're talking about Power Strength and Umbral Intensify. If you want to go for the normal Intensify, that's also fine. Again, I'm trying to keep that forma count low, so you actually try the Warframe in its new form. Range is most important on this build outside of the Augment, so we're going to be going to Archon Stretch, which obviously works in this case, together with Augur Reach. Now, we also got Prime Flow. It's a must, no need to go for the Archon version, but you gotta have yourself Flow and Streamline for a bit of efficiency. And my friends, for survivability, quick thinking. Now, normally, nowadays, if you want to survive in Steel Path, everybody is using Rolling Guard because it works, because it's efficient, because it's fantastic, because it's annoying and it's goddamn cheap. Try quick thinking. This one hasn't bugged on me yet, which is unusual for quick thinking, but hopefully it will not bug on you either. And because of the huge amounts of energy you're going to be getting from your free, you will have no problem always having energy to make sure you're going to stay alive. That said, there's one thing that I forgot to mention. This is a solo player's build. Okay, if you want this build with other players, you're not really gonna do so hot simply because you need to be always killing. The way this one plays, you start a mission, you wait for enemies to come around you, you cast your 3, you cast your 4, and then you start killing. You stay alive by continuously spamming pillage and the weapon of your choosing, either a melee weapon or a ranged weapon. Again, if you want a ranged weapon, the way I like it, go with the Amprex, because this one will get you a whole lot of electricity procs, which obviously synergizes beautifully well with Gyre. Build for viral, my friends. And instead of the ribbon that I have over here, you can use something like a Bane mod or a galvanized scope, anything that fits your fancy. You can even drop the flat damage if you so desire. Now, what makes this build works, and not only this build, this Warframe work nowadays, is this augment right here, Cathode Current. Eliminating an enemy while Cathode Grace is active, that is your free ability, the one with a very low duration, will release an additional discharge from Rotor Swell with 200% damage and extend its duration by the same amount. Rotor Swell is your 4 ability, your ultimate ability, which on Gyre is actually pretty impactful. And that's how you build Gyre. Arcane Energize is not a must. Definitely not. You should be able to have almost full energy all the time if you're playing the build correctly, even without Arcane Energize. So you can swap this one out for literally whatever you want, but I would keep Molt Augmented. Now, I briefly touched on this already, but let me make it very, very clear. This build will not be working without pillage. I mean, you can try if you want to, enjoy, but that's not important. What is important, go for pillage either in your 1 slot or your 2 slot, depending on what you prefer. From my 2 cents, the 2 ability is a lot more stronger on Gyre because that one brings crowd control, and you do need crowd control. It's a grouping ability. Granted, it's not one of the best grouping abilities, but still a grouping ability, so I would replace her one. As for Archon Shards, honestly, you don't really need any types of Archon Shards on this one, but if you want to, MVP are gonna be the Ember Archon Shards. Maximum energy is filled on spawn. This is something that we don't really do from the get-go, but it's gonna help you out. You can also drop an energy pad if you don't like this approach, and instead you can go for something like casting speed. I always enjoy this one, even though it's not really needed on Gyre. And the last option would be flat out power strength, because more power strength, more damage. Pillage also status cleanse, which is huge, because if you get the wrong status at you, it doesn't matter how big your shield is, dead. Essentially that's how it works, my friend. And again, if you want to get some crowd control on, don't forget to use your 2. Just quickly tap it again. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. I'm gonna cast it one more time. It transforms into that black hole thing, draws everybody in, which is why her 2 ability, in my opinion, is better than her 1 ability. And that's the new build for Gyre. Is it glorious? Is it fantastic? Well, it's not my favorite Warframe and not my favorite build, but I can't deny it does actually work, and you can try it out right now. All you need is 2 Forma, my friends, and let's be honest, I know you got the Forma. And it's not like there's anything better to do in Warframe right now. Anyway, as always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe only if you enjoy the content. If you got any feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. And you want to be subscribed, I'll tell you why. I had an argument, but I lost it. Anyway, next build guide is probably going to be for Rhino, and we're also going to be continuing with the weapon build guides as well. If you want to tune in to the testing, to the fury crafting, to the pain, to the pleasure, yes, whatever, just tune in to the Twitch live stream. Link in the description down below. Bye, guys.